Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm currently looking at my YouTube stream health info, and it's saying, suggestion. The audio stream's current bitrate, 0, is lower than the recommended bitrate. We recommend you use an audio stream bitrate of 128 kilobits per second. I use way above that. Oh, it's changed now. Stream is healthy. Is it because I wasn't saying anything? Seriously? If you're not saying anything, it thinks you're sending... Good grief. Well, that's very silly of it, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've most of my audio... I don't actually know what the stream audio is, though. I don't think I've ever set it, but pretty sure it's fine. FK, if you are not up to moderate, you don't need to. Don't worry about it. It's a modding stream. People are going to be fine. It's not like they could spoil it for me, is it? Oh dear. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna. You can stop with the music. So yeah, I've been playing around with my collections. I've pretty much finished the user interface collections. So this is the user interface overhaul for Vanilla UI Plus. And as you can see, it's got one HUD. What else did I add to it? Close menu hotkey. I can't live without that. I really can't. That is a mod that lets you set a key so that when you open a container, you can close it with a single key rather than pressing whatever they say here. And I usually... no. You fail at clicking. I usually set mine to tab. Reason being is that seems to work in all the other Bethesda games. So go here, press tab and go out. Does the same on Pip-Boy as well. So, you know, it feels consistent. So I've added that. It's obviously got a lot of other mods. The user interface is just higher definition. It's cleaner. It uses different maps. Beyond that, I'm not really hugely familiar with what else vanilla user interface adds. It's not one I normally use, but I've added clean UI. And it's probably about 20 mods in total. So that is now a good... There is one optional mod, but I think I might be removing that from the collection. Let me just... Yeah, it's the wrong one. It's this one. It is the weapon mod menu. I've got this as an optional, but I've got it as both an optional in the Vanilla UI Plus collection. As you can see, I've got 19 mods here. I've got it in that collection, but I've also got it in the Darnified UI collection as well. I'm thinking of taking it out of both of them. And the reason for that is I think I'm going to make a collection of weapons, weapon effects, animations, armor, gear, stuff. Yeah. So I thought weapons, armor, probably you want animations to go in there, all the sort of fix for weapons and stuff. And I thought, to be honest with you, the weapon mod menu probably belongs in there. You don't actually technically need this if you have Stewie's tweaks. There is a way to get similar functionality with Stewie's tweaks, but honestly, I like the interface that the weapon mod menu brings. Not a real visual upgrade collection without New Vegas Reloaded. Hold on. So yeah, so basically at the moment, my user interface collections are probably done. I haven't uploaded the vanilla one yet. I still prefer the Darnified one. This is one of the great things with collections. I can turn off my vanilla UI collection. So that's just going to disable... Well, they say 20 mods, but it's not, because some of those mods are shared with my Stable New Vegas collection, for example. And so it doesn't disable them because this one needs them, which I really like that feature. And I'll just enable the Darnified collection that I've got going. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Those of you who don't know, I've uploaded the Darnified UI to Nexus. It's now on Nexus. So I'm going to apply a fix. Somebody posted a fix to something in the comments. I'm probably going to apply a fix to that. But yeah, so Darn's UI is now available on Nexus, if you want to get it there. It's the TTW version of it created by Darn and updated by the TTW team. It does not need the fonts or anything like that, so it's dead simple to install. You literally just plonk it in with your mod manager. It's so easy. I also fixed a few bugs in OneHUD. One was for Darns only, and another one was for basically all user interface. And both were to do with the radiation meter. So I fixed those. So OneHUD has been updated. Did you get a chance to look at the HUD editor mod? Not yet. I am going to have a look at that. I am going to look at that. Because that might replace some of the functionality in OneHUD, I'm guessing. So it is definitely one of the ones I've got on my list of things to check out. But I don't think it's going to replace OneHUD exactly, because the main reason I use OneHUD is for the hiding of the heads-up display elements. Now, there is a new mod that does something similar, I think. I can't remember what it was called. Slow Fade HUD or something. And that does look interesting. That does look interesting. But I also saw quite a few people having some trouble with it. So I'm going to have to play around with that and the HUD editor and see what I think. And see if I decide to replace OneHUD with those two. Which I might. What are we all talking about? You're not listening to me, are you? Nobody's listening to me. I could be sat here going blah, 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 talking to each other, which is fine. You are allowed to talk to each other. I do wonder if I'm required. Oh my God. Let's have a look. Right. I do realize it is an unplanned stream. FK, seriously. You do not need to moderate. Go relax. Just go relax. So anyway, just thought I'd tell you that. I have updated those. Hopefully I will keep them a little more regularly updated. I've started 2 other collections now. I've started one for visuals and maybe audio. I haven't decided yet. One for gameplay and QOL and quality of life tweaks. So far, all I've got is the close menu hotkey. Oh yeah, no, sorry, that is not. I've not included that as part of the user interface mods. Yeah, this is why I've not been in a rush to publish the collections yet. Because things like that, like the weapon mod menu, I'm not sure if it belongs in a UI collection or a weapons and stuff collection. I don't even know if I should have a weapons and stuff collection. Do I need an animation collection, or do I need a weapons and armor collection, or just weapons, armor, and animations? Because I feel like those are very much linked. Just, yeah. But I don't know. It gets a little harder to zone in on a mod and specifically say, yeah, that's user interface, or yeah, that's graphics. Some mods might span the range of mods. Anyway, so what I'm trying to do now is check a bunch of visual upgrades. We're talking about Echoes and her accident. She got 4 stitches in her cheek. It fell over. Okay, so I don't want to make this all about me because I do feel sorry for Echoes, but I'm feeling a bit of kinship with echoes because not on my cheek, but in the bottom of my palate, I think I might need stitches. So I'm feeling a bit of kinship. I slashed the bottom of my palate with what they call knäckebröd here, which is snappy bread. And I have a big piece of flesh flapping around on the inside of my gum. Stopped bleeding. And then I smacked it with another piece of knäckebröd. And it started bleeding again. It stopped again. And I'm being very careful not to let any food go in that area. And I'm hoping it just heals by itself. It's kind of a... So I'm feeling a bit of kinship with you, chasing the echoes. Like, it's not my cheek. It's like, it's where your tongue sits. If you're not talking, where your tongue sits, under there. I was biting into this, they call it knäckebröd, which literally does mean snappable bread. And it's a very good description because it's a kind of cracker, but it's some of them are really hard and really sharp. And I bit a chunk at a really odd angle and it just went straight down. So, didn't shut you up though, did it? It's oddly not that painful as long as I don't eat anything with salt. And obviously, if I don't stab it again with a bit of knäckebröd. It's... What an odd thing to do. So, at least you had a decent accident for yours, Echoes. You fell over. I have a flap of skin and flesh hanging around in my mouth that, again, I'm hoping won't need stitches. Because it's funny, isn't it? Inside your gums, inside your mouth, it will heal very quickly. As long as you don't keep aggravating it. And because it's on the bottom of my mouth, the flap can lie flat. So I'm just really attempting not to aggravate it. What a weird thing to be discussing on a Friday night. You know you're an old person, don't you? Right. So anyway, yes. So what I have got so far... Soup's for you. No, soup would be the worst thing, no, because it would just go straight down under my tongue. Now, honestly, it's not that painful. It really isn't. I can drink, eat, whatever. It's what I've just got to do is avoid anything hard getting under my tongue. As long as nothing hard goes under my tongue and presses down on it, because I did it twice. I don't know how you do something so stupid in the first place. I mean, the bit of knäckebröd had to be big enough to actually get some leverage when I bit down. So it obviously it was big enough that the top of my mouth could press it into the bottom of my mouth past my tongue. Right? But it still managed to twist itself in a vertical position, pointy end down. I mean, that's pretty damn stupid to start with. To do that twice in the space of a minute or so, I don't know. I mean, we got stupid squared right there. What is a knickerbocker? It's knäckebröd. Snappy bread. Snappable bread. Cracking bread. Knäcke. I bit my tongue on Tuesday while eating hard enough to have teeth marks for days. Yeah. But you didn't bite it twice, right? Okay, let's keep looking. Have I heard of Sal's video guide? No, I've not. Right, but let's move on, though. Let's move on. So far, the other collection, the other mods I've been looking at, visual upgrades, are mostly fixes. Depth of field fix. There's a lot of walls mods here. High resolution wall fog fix, shader loaders, LOD flicker fix, that type of thing. Lots of little things. Some of them I was having a hard time noticing any benefits from, like the LOD flicker. But I'm not getting LOD flicker at the moment for some reason in my game. Which Strikes me as odd, but it's probably because I've not modded much. I suspect I'll definitely keep those in. They are probably going to be useful mods. I've added some fixes or tweaks to meshes, standard stuff. Strip light region fix. I didn't even know this was a thing until I saw this mod. There is a place in Fallout New Vegas that if you walk into, the strip lights all fade away. Now, you need an ESP to fix this, and I hate adding ESPs for very unnecessary things. The problem with this is once you've seen this, you can't not see it. So there you go. And then Moonlight VS NVSE, of course. This is one of these things. This isn't a plugin. Most of these are not plugins, which is great. Excuse me. Most of these are not ESPs, Elder Scrolls plugins. Most of these are NVSE plugins. That's fine. NVSE plugins, you can have as many of those as you want. For the base game plugins, ESPs, you are supposed to try and limit the number. However, that's not really all that required anymore because there is another mod. I believe I've got it in my stable collection, actually. Somewhere, don't I have it? Isn't there a mod that removes the mod limit? There it is, FNV mod limit fix. So it's not a problem, but I do like to try and reduce the number of ESPs for just habit. To be honest, it's just complete habit. It really is nothing more than habit at this point. So are there any collections for mods compatible with TTW? I've made a few, but I don't know how. I do not know how up to date it is. Well, I can tell you how up to date they are. Not very. Are you going to look at stars for armor? I don't know. I have not even thought about weapons and armor at the moment. I think the only thing for weapons that I've thought of is WMIM. I don't even know what the current best, most popular weapon mods are, etc. So I've got no plans, no idea at the moment. But I will be open to suggestions once I get there. Larry, what did I miss? The weird conversations. Am I on Windows 10? I am. I should upgrade to Windows 11. I know I should. Right, anyway, so this is the visual upgrade so far, which is almost non-existent. Oh, Moonlight NVSE, I was telling you about this one. This one is one of those ones, again, once you understand the problem, it's amazingly annoying, but you've probably never even noticed it before. At nighttime, your shadows go in the wrong direction. Yeah, the moon is not the light that casts a shadow for you. The sun is. Yes, in the middle of the night. Don't ask. This mod fixes it. View model shading fix. This is fixes shading on a few things, but specifically it's replaced the Pip-Boy shading fix that I was using prior. So I've put that in. Again, I'm still evaluating all of these, how necessary they are, how useful I think they are. But I've got a bunch of other mods that I really need to look at. First of all, I want to find a weather mod. You're not missing much from Windows 11. Yeah, I've got a feeling I have to update soon anyway. Isn't it like very, very soon? It flips over and no longer going to support. I can't even upgrade my render PC. I know I can. I know there's a way around it, but you can't do it automatically because it's too damned old. Anyway, what? So let me have a look. Climate controlled, longer weather transitions. No, that was one of the ones that I need for something. Oh no, I've used this before, climate control NVSE. I used this for my TTW playthrough. Nevada Skies is a weather mod. Yeah, I mean, Nevada Skies, that's an old one, isn't it? Isn't Nevada Skies like... Yeah, 2281 rework. Isn't Nevada Skies like the OG? It is. Nevada Skies is like the OG weather mod. I remember this. It's been redone 2021. Okay. It was uploaded back in 2010, I know. Okay, let's have a look. Now, here's the thing. It's very hard to judge weather mods for myself. So I'm going to be trusting some feedback I get from you guys or from what I read online. Because these are the sort of things that really you need to play with. Yeah, you can go and change the weather manually, but you don't actually get a feel for how a weather mod works until you just played and experience the weather as they unfold. That's whether we notice or not. Oh yeah. Trust me. If I remember rightly, Nevada Skies has some. Okay, so Darnified UI, give it a second, it'll disappear. It's definitely less yellow, isn't it? It's definitely less yellow. And it's got a lot of sun glare. Is that a bit too... Oh. Did it transition a little? I felt like something transitioned. I think the weather is transitioning. Wow, there's a lot of bloom on that sun. That sun is like bloomy. But yeah. This was the OG weather mod. What is the weather in Nevada? Isn't it like 100 days of scorching sunshine? If I remember correctly, isn't the mod author of this mod actually someone who lives or lived in this area? Oh, it definitely looks different. It still has a bit of an orangey yellow tint on the land. A brown tint would be a better description. But the sun is definitely bluer, right? It's got rid of that weird sickly yellow tint. Which, I gotta be honest, I do not like. I do not like the horrible tint in New Vegas or the green tint in Fallout 3. Fallout 3 is a bit more nuanced. I often say with the Fallout 3 green tint, it's one of those things that you get nostalgic for and you think, oh god, yeah, and you see pictures of it, you think, oh, I remember that, oh wow, and then you start playing the game and after 10 minutes you're like, geez, this green tint is doing my head in. It's just like, it's just, you know what I mean? It's like seeing a trailer with a tint. Yeah, that's one thing. Playing a game with a tint, just get away from me. Get away from me. So yeah, this is Nevada Skies. I have a feeling it's probably not considered the go-to one now. But you know what? It's nice to look at some of the old things. Love the green tint. How long do you play the game for usually, though? Or let me rephrase that. How long do you play the game before you remove the green tint? Have you played the game recently? Because again, it is one of those things, when I boot up Fallout 3 in its unmodded state, I get a bit of nostalgia. And then I get outside and I see the wasteland and I just go, no, I'm done with it. All the way through, no probs. When though? When? Was that when it first came out? Look, when the game first came out, I think we all went through it. Probably without changing the weather once. But, you know. After a while, it's so bloody sickly. Okay, so what else was there? Desert Natural Weathers. Right, that's the one I used for Tale of Two Wastelands. Vaults are fine with the green tint. Yeah, that's more or less it, isn't it, really? I tend to keep the green tint as well. Plenty of places in the game are absolutely ruined without the green tint. Like where? Like where is ruined without the green tint? I mean, I'd suggest there's a whole heap of places ruined by the green tint. And those places include everything above the surface. I mean, obviously, no, I am kidding, of course. Some people, you know, different tastes for different people, I guess. But it just, within the DC ruins? No. DC Ruins with the green tints just as... The problem is it just becomes very monochrome, as well as slightly sickly for me. I mean, like, I'm not a realism junkie. I don't hate it on the grounds of it's not very realistic. I find tints like that, like, nice for screenshots and evoking a certain emotion. But once I start playing, I want... But it's part of the atmosphere. Yeah, but it's the wrong sort of atmosphere. It feels cartoony, I guess would be the best way to describe it. Cartoony. Yeah, like someone's put a tint over, like, you know, those film noir things. And it's like, I get it. I get you're trying to go for a vibe, but that's great for a trailer. But once I'm playing, I kind of want to feel like I'm there, not in a trailer. If that makes sense. And to me, the green thing doesn't add atmosphere. Well, it adds a vibe, again, in screenshots or when I look at pictures of the game and things like that. It adds a vibe because it reminds me of playing Fallout 3. But it doesn't, the atmosphere when you're there in game just feels all wrong. The atmosphere is immaculate without the green tint. I'm not sure what you mean the atmosphere is immaculate without the green tint, Moonalm. I thought you liked the green tint. You're saying it's better without the green tint now? It's immaculate? I mean, I wouldn't say that. There are still ways you could improve. Okay. So we probably need to give it a... Sometimes you actually need to wait for these weather mods to kick in. See, I prefer the sun in this one. I do. I didn't like the lens flare. I did not like the lens flare at all. But I'm not a fan of it, to be honest. You find the yellow tint of New Vegas equally nostalgic. Yeah, again, I understand the nostalgia factor of the yellow tints. But I get over nostalgia very, very quickly. You know what I mean? Nostalgia powers me for a few minutes. I think that's why the green tint for Fallout 3 really does. I look at it and go, oh, wow, yeah. And then a few minutes later, it's worn off. It's like, yeah, because nostalgia can only take me a little while. A couple of minutes. Yeah, I like that. It feels a bit clearer. It still feels desert and dusty. The sky is reasonably clear. But the sun is much better. The sun is much, much better. So yeah, this is the one I used for Tale of Two Wastelands as well. So this is, I mean, I will be honest with you, the different types of weather that these mods have is probably going to be important as well, but nothing is more important to me than the initial moment you walk out of the Doc's house. It just, those are the moments that kind of set everything up for me. It does seem a bit choppy. Okay. Does it? I mean, I'm getting 120 frames a second locked hard, but of course, if my capture card drop... Oh, that does remind me. That reminds me. Actually, here's me. Right. Okay, so... How is the image looking? I've just realized. You guys probably weren't here yesterday. Some of you weren't here. I have changed my monitor. Seems a little dull. Yeah, that's New Vegas for you. New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas, the world is very dull. Look, I love Fallout New Vegas, but Fallout New Vegas is just the world space is dull as hell. Fallout 3 was way better world space. But, okay, so I changed my monitor recently and found out that it looks crap with SDR. It only looks good with HDR. So I've got HDR enabled. The only problem with that is my capture card, while it can handle HDR, I don't stream in HDR and I don't record in HDR. I record standard SDR because it's way more compatible with different people, right? And what I found was my capture card was really off, especially yesterday. But I think I found the settings that make the game and on my monitor not too far away from what you're seeing. But what you're seeing to me looks a little duller than what I'm seeing. It's not quite bright enough. So I still think I'm looking for some filters. Now what I can tell you is I managed to add some filters on my recording that worked okay. But I almost feel I don't need them anymore. But that's on a different version of OBS. I've got two versions of OBS. Slightly more saturation than you there. Well, I'm not sure actually, because I'm looking at my screen and I'm looking at what you're seeing, and I'm trying to match them. What seems to be missing, and I did notice this, is what I did on. I'm gonna do more or less the same as I did. I dropped the gamma by about 20. Now you'll notice that's gone a little darker, but it has also allows me to then boost the contrast, and I chugged up the contrast reasonably far. I think I actually chugged it up for about 1, but I think it's a bit too much, to be honest. So I chugged up the contrast like that. Now it's difficult to tell because my new monitor is not very saturated at all. In fact, if anything, I feel my monitor has a very cool color space. I think it has a very cool color space. So realistically, what I should be sending to you should be more saturated. But I feel like that's also, the gamma's too much on that. Sorry, the gamma drop was too much. I'm going to put the gamma back and just leave the... Yeah, boosting the contrast up definitely helped the image on your end. Let me just change it back a bit. Let's try something in between. I feel like if I just add a tiny bit, just a tiny bit of contrast, and then like a smidge of brightness? No, that's... Oh, God, no, excuse me. Let me kill that change. I think the contrast has done a little to make the colours pop, yeah? What I can tell you is it actually looks better on stream than it looks on my monitor now. But I think, again, my monitor has what I feel is a very cool tint to it. You know, like some monitors have a warm feeling. This monitor has a cool feeling. Now, I'm using HDR, which means I can't change anything. I'm basically stuck on what it looks like. And before you say, turn HDR off then and go back to SDR, I could not find color settings, brightness settings, gamma settings that worked for SDR on this monitor. It was either horribly dull outside or it was disgustingly dark when it was dark. So I couldn't find a mix. HDR and the game looks great, if a little cool. But now it looks good, yeah? It's hard to tell with New Vegas colors. It is. You're not wrong. But I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the boost to the contrast a tad. Let me just drop it It's only, literally, I've moved it about 0.3, which is very little. But I'm going to make it 0.25. So this is about half what it was a second ago. The boost, that's all. But I still feel that's enough to give you slightly more, the colours pop a little better, right? I'm a bit worried that the shadows are going to be too deep, but we'll see as you go along. The only reason I'm bothered about this is getting your advice on how this looks. I've got to try and make it look close to what it looks like on my monitor, but take into account that my monitor has a cool feel. So I'm trying to make it look like my monitor, but slightly warmer. God, this is so damn cool. I swear, if I can find somewhere that will repair my my old monitor, if I can get that old monitor fixed, I'm bloody well fixing it. I don't care if it's old. I want my old monitor back. I suppose it's a desert. Hard to make the colours pop. No, but I'm more wanting to make sure the sky has a blue tint to it. At the moment, your blue tint's bluer than mine. But again, just something about... And I don't know if this is... This might be normal for HDR. For all I know, HDR is just inherently a very cool vibe compared to a lot of monitors. But like I said, the only reason I'm using it is because it was the only way I could get it looking even semi-decent. You know what has colours? The pretty stop sign. You know what? You're not wrong. Oh, God, it is choppy, isn't it? It's really choppy. For you. For me, it's not. I'm looking at the sign. The preview. All right. So let me, like, this is a 0.2 boost on contrast. Let me turn it off again. There's off. Yeah, it doesn't actually make it darker in any places, really. It just lightens the light, which gives a bit of a boost. I feel like I could boost the gamma ever so slightly to give you ability to see slightly better in the darker areas. But again, I'm not really wanting to make the game look too good artificially. I want to be gauging the old mods more than anything. So I don't quite know. And I can't tell because my old monitor is quite dead. Anyway, I'm going to leave it on just for now, just so you get more of an effect. But this is a very pleasant vibe, right? I say pleasant vibe. You don't have that horrible tint. This feels more like a desert, right? I like this, must admit. But that is stuttery. Now, I wonder if that's because of the filters. I'm turning the filter off, guys. Does the filter make it stuttery? Is it... No, that's stuttery. Oh, God, no, that's... Why is it stuttery? I have a feeling it's just the frame rate's dipping below. I think it is that. I think the frame rate's just dipping below 120, and when it does, you get choppy frames. Anyway, yeah, so ignore the stutter. Obviously, if I was doing a Let's Play, I would have to fix that stutter, and the chances are the only way to fix it would be to lock the frame rate at 60 rather than 120. See, the problem is, whenever it drops below 120, it's no longer a multiple of 60. The second it does that, my capture card, which is capturing at 60, misses a beat. And because it's not G-synced, it's V-synced, it halves the frame rate. I.e., it drops basically to sort of 30 in a way. You get a double frame. Because you either get a double frame or you get screen tearing. Please tell me we're not getting screen tearing. No, that's Z flicker. Okay. What do the interiors look like? This will not affect the interiors at all. This is a weather mod, completely and utterly for outside only. Desert natural weathers. What else did I download that I was looking at? Landscape texture improvement. I mean, I'm looking for some landscape textures, not water overhaul. Oh, yeah. There are not many places with water, though, are there? This is TTW, isn't it? I feel like there's pretty much one or two places in New Vegas where there's a large body of water and it might make a difference. I mean, I'm open to checking it out. But I don't think a water mod is all that important for New Vegas because there's just so little of it. Let's have a look. Real-time reflections. This might be one I check out, but I think I'm going to check this out once I've tried some other mods. What else was there? I could have sworn I had at least one other vanilla there. Weather's revised? Was that the one? Yep. Weather's revised. Right. Let's just have a look at that one. Hoover Dam and where else? Does Hoover Dam have water? I never looked over the dam, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it stands to reason it has water, but it is the apocalypse, so... Or is the dam in the lake where you... No, I don't think it is. No, there's probably a couple of places that have got water, actually, now that I think about it. All right. Is it called Camp Guardian? Okay. You remember an update to the capture card software that eliminates screen tearing? No, right. The capture card has already updated that update, and all I needed to do was run a pass through. So I'm now looking at the game through the capture card, which means, well, basically the HDMI signal just passes straight through it, which means when it syncs to my monitor, it's syncing to the capture card as well, or at least that's the theory. Basically, I no longer have this thing where I'm cloning the screens and I'm V-syncing to my monitor, but it's not V-syncing to the capture card. Now I V-sync to the capture card and the signal's going through straight to my monitor, but my monitor is variable refresh rate, so it's fine. I don't have screen tearing on my screen. It's only on the recording. But now, because I'm using the pass-through, I always V-sync to the capture card, so you're not getting screen tearing in theory. Unless, of course, V-sync is not working properly. Okay, so this is the new one. I like the sun. Oh, God. I keep forgetting that. Does it feel dimmer? Definitely feels dimmer, doesn't it? Huh. Now, I like the sun. I do like the sun. And I like the sky. Sometimes you need to wait for a couple of hours or even a day to make sure the weather transitions correctly. So I'm gonna... Oh. I can use this place, right? Not that one. Can't I? Didn't he? Does he have a spare bed? Nope. God damn it, Doc. Let me use your bed. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, come on. My man. My man. Fine. Who needs sleep? Just turn the heart on. See? Look at that. Which weather mod is this? Weather's Revisited. You can prioritize the capture card because your monitor can deal with iffy frame rates. Well, yeah, but also the thing is when I was cloning it, I had to make my main monitor the primary. I think. Otherwise, I, at the time, couldn't G-Sync. Mind you, maybe I could have. Yeah, the thing... To be honest with you, I might actually be able to go back without the pass-through. And now they've got variable refresh rate, still do it anyway. But I'm not sure how it works. Because it's got two cables, you see. See, that was the big problem. The way I was doing it, you had one cable to the monitor, one cable to the capture card. And it was obviously V-syncing on one of the cables. You could get it to do it on both quite often by pigging around. Either one would be using G-Sync, or you'd use windowed mode and that wouldn't have screen tearing for some games, but it would for others. This just makes it simpler because it's just one cable. So, alright. Didn't really change much, but there's definitely a haze, isn't there, at the distance? Hides some of the ugly, distant terrain, which is not a terrible thing. It's got a bit of depth of field. Some people like it, some people don't. It is there to hide some of the crappy, distant terrain. I will, of course, be generating better distant terrain. I do like the sky, actually. Isn't it amazing how low polygon some of the hills look now and the rocks? Wow. How times have moved on. I don't hate it. I think I prefer the desert one. Fun fact, Mass Effect 1 happened before Fallout New Vegas. Yes, it did. That's an odd fun fact, though. Don't forget the time of day. It is currently 10 AM. It does... It looks darker, in spite of the fact that the sun's up. I almost feel like that's too dark. Yeah, I feel like it's too dark. The skybox is lit, but the land feels almost in shade. I can't totally put my finger on it. I think I found the desert natural weathers to be... ENB isn't good. No, ENBs for Fallout New Vegas are really bad. At least they were the last time I tested them. I don't know if anything's changed. It disables the hardware anti-aliasing and replaces it with the worst anti-aliasing ever created by man. I don't even remember what it was they used, but it was god-awful. It was utterly terrible. To the point where I ended up forcing my game to use... super sampling, which is really, really taxing on your system. Now, because this is such an old game, using hardware anti-aliasing really doesn't matter. I wish EMB didn't disable it, to be honest. Keep it as it was. Right, let's have a look at the desert one again. I should also do the same thing. Let's give it the 24 hours. Not tweaks. Which weathers has he tried? We've tried Nevada skies, we tried desert natural weathers, and we've tried weathers revisited. What else can I try out? EMB isn't good. Viva New Vegas doesn't recommend it. Honestly, The only EMB I ever used that really worked well for me was Tapiox EMB, one of the first ever EMBs he uploaded, because it worked fine with anti-aliasing. But it was EMB itself, the EMB, as it went to new versions, suddenly disabled anti-aliasing. Okay, so the weather, okay, little bit sandier in the sky. So I think overall I quite like Weather Revisited's sky a little more. But I felt like the sun was not illuminating the ground that much, whereas now I feel a bit more like the sun's actually shining on the road, whereas I sort of felt a bit like, almost like the sun was low, if that made sense. This... Oh, it's Pete. I think overall, I think I prefer this one. It's difficult to say. It's one of those things of prefer the sky on Weather's Revisited, prefer the lighting on the ground for this one. Come on. Are there not other weather mods? Gotta be other weather mods, right? Gotta have some weather mods. Kind of, let's have a look. The shiny tarmac. Yeah. Endorsements. Can we do endorsements in the last, 2 months or something? See what's trending. Try Desert Natural Plus. Desert Natural Weathers. What's Desert Natural Plus? Okay, there's a Desert Natural series? No, it's all by different people. Desert Natural Sandstorms, Desert Natural Creatures, Desert Natural Realism, Redux, what the hell is that? DNB weather mod that tries to bring crisp color depth. Okay. Well, let's have a look at it. Desert neutral. Oh. Excuse me. Am I spelling that wrong? There is no desert neutral. Sorry. Altitude was mentioned as well, was it? Altitude. Altitude, a vanilla plus weather mod. Okay. Altitude weathers overhaul. Okay. So we've got... What did I just down... Didn't I just download one? This... Oh, no. Didn't quite hit the download button. So this one, right. Desert Natural Realism Redux. Does it require the first one? Is it like a patch over the top of it? Yes. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say that before. Surely that's an after. Surely that is an after. Load before my mod. Vortex. Silly suggestion. Maybe we should go somewhere more scenic. No. the most important place to check is the first place you see when you leave Doc's house. I need to do a lot of checking in a lot of places. I'm definitely going to visit a lot of other places and do some comparisons, but absolutely the first impression is critically important. How it looks here just sets the mood, I think. Whoa. Did I do something wrong? Yeah, because that definitely did not look right. Unless the weather is just radically overhauled. Silent Hill. Yeah, that was somewhat, you know. Felt very apocalyptic. What have we tried so far? Desert natural weathers. Weathers revisited. Nevada skies. And then this one, which is a derivation of... Whoa! Okay. That's better, but also... That is blue. That is blue. That's... blue. Now, I have never been in a desert. Is that how suns look? Does it look that blue? That... I mean... I live in Norway. The sky can get blue, but that's blue. I mean, now... You would use desert natural weathers. That's the one I'm leaning on at the moment. This definitely makes the game look more colourful, doesn't it? I think it's basically just more saturated. I mean, that's just... Isn't that a bit too blue for... I've never seen the sky that blue, you see. At least not, you know, at what is the height of the day. I mean, it's like 10 a.m. I can imagine maybe it's going a bit darker. I mean, don't get me wrong. It looks nice, and there's definitely more colour. Definitely more colour. Englishman problems. What, not seeing a sky that blue? I mean, like I said, not a native of any desert region. I could give you a good idea of how Skyrim should look, but not necessarily a desert. Too many clouds, though. Yeah, maybe. Again, you're definitely asking the wrong person. Alright, so that's just a tweak of desert natural weathers. What was the other one? Let's have a look. We had Altitude Vanilla Plus and Altitude Weathers Overhaul. Which one? Which one is... Okay, so this is a tweak. This is an overhaul of Altitude. So this is the base one. Does not have any requirements. Desert Natural Weathers was voted best on Viva Mod forums. Yeah, I can sort of see why. It's definitely the one I used in Taylor 2 Wastelands when I played that. So it had nice weathers for the capital Wasteland. So, yeah. Where was that? Altitude. I found atmospheres, weather and lighting. Why does that sound familiar? That sounds... That's the one I've installed. Is that what it was called? Atmospheres, weather and lighting? What? Suddenly you've made me think of something else. I don't know why. When you typed that, it made me think of something else. I remember... God, I'm trying to remember a really old lighting mod. Okay, so this is altitude. I like the sun, even though it's got a bit of sun glare. But it feels less invasive than the one before. Yeah, sorry, lens flare that is. I'm not a lover of lens flare. They look great on photographs, but I always end up feeling like I'm looking at the world through a camera. I get used to it in games that have it, but I think overall I generally prefer no. But I like the sun itself. I quite like the colour of the sky. It's not as blue as the last one, but it is definitely blue. I'm trying to figure out... Still feels... I feel almost like the land is, again, once again, not as well lit by the sun. Does that... Is it me? Am I the only one seeing this? Where it... I feel like, at the moment, the sun is over there. Not there. Just... I can't put my finger on it. I feel like it's a very low sun. Yeah. I mean, I like the overall look. It's got a very clear look. A very clean look. Which I do appreciate. It's not trying to confuse my eyes with odd filters. But I feel like the land is not being hit by beating sun as much as in desert natural weathers. It's very hard to put my finger on it because I don't think it's like there. There's something about the way. I think it's the way it's reflecting off the road as well. But that could have been in desert natural weathers as well. I just didn't notice it. But for some reason, when I'm here now, I feel like the sun is low and to my left. Is ray tracing enabled? Don't think that's an option. It looks more dawnish. Yeah. I can't put my finger on this at all. Judging weather mods is always a tough one. Let's have a look, see what they did to this. Unresolved file complex, yes. After this modifies that one. This is required. Definitely got to get some suggestions in for those. There's a softening filter on the land. Do you think that's what it is? Do you think that's what it is? It's softening the land. And that makes it look less direct light or something? I can't put my finger on it. I miss being able to speak to my good eye. He was someone I worked on a lot of visual mods with, and he was great at this. He was a professional cameraman. Okay. This has a warmer feeling, doesn't it? This is a derivation of altitudes. It still has that thing. Look, this looks low. I feel like the sun... I almost feel like the town's in shadow. But it's not. It's right up there. I don't know how better to describe it. It looks really good. Oh, it's look. No, it's. Whoa! Ah! You know what I didn't do? I didn't give this mod. Whoa! It did not give this mod time to do its transition, did I? In its base form. I should have done the weight. I should have done the weight. mods on. And don't get me wrong. I love weather like this in games like this. Like, you know, getting some real somber-looking, unpleasant weathers. Just, you know, absolutely not got a problem with that at all. Just at the moment, I want to evaluate this, you know, in the opening moments, as I've said. What are your thoughts on mods that delay integrate the DLC announcements? They're bloody essential. They're going in my quality of life mod list for sure. Wandering out of that door and being bombarded with 1,001 pop-ups is idiotic. Bethesda and Oblivion should be severely chastised for that. Okay, no, it really is gonna stay like this, isn't it? I don't know why I did that. Takes 3 minutes of pop-ups. To be honest, one pop-up's too many. I mean, this was one of those things that I wouldn't say ruined Fallout 3, but really did mangle one of the great moments in gaming history for me. That moment you step out and look. This mod seems to like its clouds. I don't hate it at all, but it looks cold now, doesn't it? This looks cold, but I don't hate it. And honestly, now that there's some cloud cover, the fact that the place isn't sun-drenched makes more sense, but it still feels like a low sun. Still feels like a low bloody sun. Yeah. I have a feeling this could be one of those things where, oh, I liked the sunset look there. It's going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to test these a lot more than this, but I'm going to end up loving, say, the nights with one mod, the rain in another, the clouds in another, and then, you know what I mean? See? No, you see, okay, it's the eye adaptation. Look at the eye adaptation. If I look up, it gets dark. Honestly, I do appreciate eye adaptation sometimes. But in actual fact, if you look at the sky, I feel like you should just get a flooded... I feel like your eye should not adapt. I know it does, but I almost want this to... the dimming effect's too much for me when looking up. I feel like what it should do when you look at the sun is it should actually brighten the whole screen so you can't actually see anything and it makes you squint in real life. But yeah, you see what I mean? There's just... there's no shadow. This game probably sucks at shadows, but there's no shadow at all. I mean, there is a shadow. I can sort of see it. But there's no cloud between me and it. But my shadow feels really... I feel like Peter Pan now, chasing my shadow. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be testing a ton of weather mods. And I'm always going to have a criticism for them. And then I'm going to find a bunch of other visual mods that change things that I've criticized. And then I'm going to have to go back and test all the bloody weather mods. Because it's such a picky one. And all I've done so far is test one place, one weather. I just want to go back to the base mod and try rotating the weather a bit. It should at least get brighter for a moment. Yeah. Well, yeah. Eye adaptation's good, right? But in actual fact, if you look at the sun, your eye does not adapt. If you look up at the sky, your eye does not adapt and make the sky look darker, believe it or not. What actually happens is you squint your eyes until you've got your eyelashes covering the damn thing, right? It's... What should actually happen is the sky should bloom and become really, really bright and hard to see in. And you might be able to dim the gamma or something on it, but overall, looking at the sun, your eyes cannot adapt enough. It's very hard to mimic this in a game, though. I think some games do it really well. I like the way Kingdom Come Deliverance does it. There is eye adaptation on it, but it's... Right, so this is altitude in its basic form, right? And again, this was one where I felt like... See, the shadows are there. But for some odd reason, when I was looking at the ground, it didn't feel like it was sun-drenched. Let's try cycling the weather. Yeah, it's not as blue as Weather Revisited. The weather's changing, isn't it? Okay, we're now getting a weird effect. This is probably because I've installed the mod while outside. Generally speaking, when you install weather mods, it's a good idea to do it while you're inside, I think. Memory serves. Depends on how the weather mod is actually running. And then possibly even wait a little while. KCD does a lot of quirky, gamey interactions with the game world very well. Yeah, I mean, that's New Vegas. No cast shadows unless character model. Is that it? Maybe that's what's bothering me. Maybe I'm just being bothered by the way the shadows are not falling, or it could be. No, this... Oh, I quite like the sky. So this is altitude after I've waited for 24 hours. So... Is it better? Is it better now that I've waited? Does it feel... Do you feel like the sun is beating down at 10 o'clock? There. Or do you still feel like the sun is early morning? This is mid-morning sun. Does this feel like mid-morning sun for you? In a desert. This feels like early morning sun. Yeah. So let's go back to desert natural weathers. That's the one that I felt the most comfortable with, but now I'm going to be paying more attention. It's still like winter and subdued. It's just not even like winter though, because you get winter in a desert and at 10 o'clock the sun is up high. That sun is hitting the ground. Where is Nevada? In comparison to the equator, it's still quite... Is it quite south? I mean, it's... I don't quite know where it is, you know, how far north it is. I mean, it's not Norway north, is what I'm saying. It's not like, you know, you get to October and the shadows are always long. North of the equator, right, but... Oh no, you know what? This might suffer from the same problem and I just wasn't... No! Here's the thing. I don't feel like that land is in shadow. I don't feel like this area is in shadow. I feel like this has got sunlight on it. And I cannot, for the life of me, put my finger on why. I feel like this is being hit by the sun. Whereas I didn't feel it before. I still feel like when I look here, the sun's a little lower than it actually is. The ground is too brown. It should be more sandy. Well, that's the thing. We're going to be changing all the textures as well. So again, I'm testing the weather mod now, and I'm going to spend bloody days doing it. Trust me, I will be testing this forever. I mean, I was hoping for suggestions from you guys just to get the ball rolling, but in actual fact, I know this is going to take me sodding forever to test. And then I'm going to put a load of textures on and think, nope, I hate this with this weather mod, and change the weather mod. Okay. Are there any other weather mods anyone would like to suggest? I mean, I've got a few other things. I've downloaded some texture packs that I would like to try out. NMCs, that's for Fallout. And I will, I mean, like we've got nuts, rock hard, rock textures. Yeah. Dear, oh dear. See, I've got loads of texture mods that I want to try out as well. I basically want to overhaul every single bloody texture in the game, I think. Because, let's face it, that's one of the worst things in the game. I want a lighting mod that gives me a nice clean base for which to judge everything else, I guess. So, did I try atmospheres? Atmospheres? I tried altitude, but not atmospheres. Altitude. All right. There's something called atmospheres. Oh, wait. No, it can't be the one I tried. There was one I used so long ago. I can't remember what it's called. I believe I used it in Fallout 3 as well. Because they made a version of it for Fallout 3 in my Will playthrough. And I can't remember what the hell it was called. Not Electric City. Clarity? No. I think I tried Clarity. No, there was this one that made everything look quite post-apocalyptic. Very, very, bleak looking. I'm not saying I would use that one this time, but... God, I hate it. I wish they had a weather mod category. Because there's too sodding... Is there an atmospherics? No. Yeah. Visuals and graphics is too... Improved lighting shaders, moonlight, cloud upgrade. Oh, actually, I could do this. I could do endorsements in the last 28 days. Whee! That's often a very good way of looking at this. Okay. Wait. No, that's just ones that have been uploaded in the last 28 days. I want how many endorsements they've had in the not a very good filter system. Tried this one. Put weather in the description. I could have thought of that. Shut up! Leave me alone. It's late. Yeah. Okay. Also, let's put lighting. That sometimes has them, doesn't it? FNV, realistic weight. Okay. Improved lighting shaders. Okay. Right, I just downloaded. What did I download? Atmospheres Legacy. Let's try this one then. Yeah, feel free to give me suggestions, by the way, but what I would recommend is if you've got some suggestions you really think I would like, put them in the when this goes, you know, once I've finished streaming, it appears as a VOD in YouTube. Put it in the comments there. I'll definitely be checking all the comments. If there's stuff to suggest, I would love to try them out, especially texture mods, etc. Right. Okay. Atmospheres. Let's have a look. Oh! Yeah, I didn't check for dependencies. Bad Gopher. Naughty Gopher. Just setting such a bad example. Do as I say, not as I do, people. Rule number 1. Did I close it? I closed it. Of course I did. Atmospheres Legacy. What did it require? It required... Holy sh... Got that. Don't got that. Actually, that's not that much. Off-site... High dynamic... It's a Wikipedia page. What is he... Hard requirement. Required for most things weather-related, including vanilla. This requires HDR. Okay, so we're not trying that, unfortunately. Sorry. Okay. Oh, it just got raided by Mike Burnfire. Welcome, raiders. Yeah, I am not going to make a collection that requires HDR. I don't know how many people have HDR monitors. That's just the game's HDR. Oh. Then why did he... Oh, okay. Why did he put that as... Oh, he meant put the setting on? He meant put the setting on. It's an odd way of doing it. All right, okay. Besides, I'm not the biggest fan of real HDR at the moment because it's causing me untold amounts of bloody annoyance. What does this require? Climate control rain. So, climate control rain requires climate control NVSE. Climate control NVSE requires NVSE. Oh no, there's mod requiring. Okay. There you go. Pretty sure I've actually got that. It's FNV Realistic Wasteland Lighting. Yeah, I tell you what, before I try atmospherics, because it's got a huge number of... I'm going to remove this just so it reappears as blue. Reminds me to try out. It's got a huge number of requirements. I've already got this downloaded, I believe. Yep. Climate control rain. I don't have that one. Oh. Requires the main and the 3D rain mod. Well, that's the one I need then. I will admit, the 3D rain mod sounds really interesting. Okay. Oh, it makes it look better when you look up and down. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm not hating the idea there. Not hating the idea on that. So I will definitely be giving that a try. High resolution bloom NVSE. Allows for customizable bloom resolution, making it possible to use resolutions other than the vanilla's quarter one. All right. This is a NVSE plugin, is it? Okay, hello. Give me a preview of the file content. Okay, fine, just download it. I'll look. Yeah, it's downloaded already. Oh, I can't check the archive without installing it. God. Oh, no, it's done it. Yeah, no, it is. It is an MBSE plugin. That's fine. Right, so I'm going to try atmospheres, just not now. Let's try something that doesn't require a whole heap of requirements, because I don't want to spend too much time streaming this. I just wanted some suggestions from you guys. And I just felt like saying hello. And also testing out my my streaming with this with these new settings. Honestly, the weird thing is, I'm looking at the screen, the preview of what you're seeing on Vortex, and it's definitely more colourful than what I'm seeing on my monitor. My new monitor does not pop at all. It does not pop. I mean, I need HDR to make it look semi-decent in a variety of situations, but even then, it just doesn't pop. Seriously want to get my old monitor fixed. New Vegas Reloaded with a preset on top of Realistic Wasteland. Now, New Vegas Reloaded, I have to download that from the Discord channel, right? Because if so, that's kind of a deal breaker. Well, I think. Maybe. I'll have to check if you can download from Discord links without... I'm not totally sure you can, so I think that might be a deal breaker, I'm afraid. All right, let's do this. FNV Realistic Wasteland Lighting. It is a yes for the Discord. Yeah, that's just not an option then, guys. At least I don't think it's an option. And I'm wondering if that's why they've made it Discord link only. It's a bit of a hassle, but it's so worth it. Yeah, but it's not possible. If Vortex can't access Discord as far as I know, it's got to open a browser link. It's got to open a browser link, so there's just not an option. Okay. That is too saturated for me. All round. I mean, I like how clear it is. I love the sun. I quite like the sky. But it's just too saturated, I think. Depends on the textures. Yeah, now you're not wrong there either. I mean, that's the thing, actually. See, the character doesn't look too saturated. It's the blues. I feel like it's got... Yeah, it's hard to put my finger on it. Patch it. Well, I mean, I'm not saying I can't patch it, but obviously I could patch any weather mod. I'll tell you what, though, let's have a look. I'm beginning to feel that this issue I have with the lighting of the land is a game thing. But that does look more like the sun shining on it, right? But it still feels like it's a little lower than it actually is. But I feel like at least now... Again, this mod does feel like the sun is shining. God, we definitely need something that adds better shadows, don't I? Because I think a lot of the problem is just no shadows. I think the problem I'm having with some of these weather mods is if they remotely dim the ambient light that's hitting the road, there's no way that a point light source like the sun is making up for it, and it's just not giving me any sense of shadow. I think that's Yeah, that definitely is part of the problem. Harsher sunlight, darker shadows is all I want. Yeah. Alright, what was next? Dynamic weathers. That sounds vaguely familiar. I think this just changes them. Does it have an overall change look and feel? I don't think it does. If anything, it just seems to have added Fallout 3 weathers. Western sky, weather and atmosphere. Okay. Less sun and more rain is all I want one day to see real snow. I shouldn't laugh. I just live in Norway. Yeah. I'm a bit bummed out by New Vegas Reloaded not being an option. I will admit, because that looks really hopeful. That looks really hopeful. Am I going to be doing another Fallout New Vegas playthrough? I don't think so, no. Probably not. Difficult to say. Certainly not a Let's Play. Lot of bloom on the sun, lot of bloom on the sun. Still got a yellow tint. Did I... You know what? I did not. I did it again, guys. Did not check the requirements. None. Okay. Just double checking. Dynamic weathers is good because when the weather turns to crap, you can't see any of the ugly stuff. I want a rod that just makes it rain all the time so I can't see any of the crappy models and distant terrain. In fact, I want Morrowind's fog. Or better still, Daggerfall's fog. Does anyone remember those games? And that's the wrong question. Does anyone actually remember those games correctly? As in, not your memory of it. Because often when you remember Morrowind, you remember a very romanticized version of Morrowind in your head. And you may see pictures online of Morrowind and think, oh, yeah, I miss that. Without realizing you're looking at a heavily modded Morrowind. Yeah, Morrowind's fog. Not being able to see more than 10 meters ahead. Yeah, basically, that was it. It's, yeah. Oh, wow. Is that realistic? I mean, I get it. Sun's shining on it. At least it feels like the sun's shining on it. Still feel like low sun for 10 o'clock, but... But yeah, Daggerfall was the exact same. This ridiculous fog. I love the music when I walk in this house. Does anyone else? I get really nostalgic when I listen to this music. I still love Morrowind, but it does need mods to be bearable. Yeah, to be honest, at this point, it's kind of the same with Skyrim. I mean, that's probably a little unfair on Skyrim. It's still... I mean, no, that's very unfair on Skyrim. Skyrim, in spite of being in its vanilla state, dated, at its core, there's nothing about it that really grinds my gear, with maybe one or two exceptions. The water. That's one of the things about the original Skyrim that absolutely just I can't be dealing with it. But Skyrim Special Edition did better at it. So Honestly, Skyrim... Yeah, I'm being unfair on Skyrim that way. It's still playable even in a vanilla state, whereas Morrowind, I'd start playing, and things like that Distant Fog, I'd be like, no. I'd have to mod it away, you know what I mean? It's just... I can't. Alright, this doesn't feel too... Oh, wow. Oh, no. Oh. See, I prefer the eye adaptation here. The way it does it. There is that like overwhelming feeling, and then it dims again, but I don't feel like the entire screen dimmed. It probably did, but I don't feel it. I feel like that was a better adaptation. This still feels like it's got a bit of a yellow tinge. Do you know what I mean? I prefer it. This doesn't feel too dissimilar to vanilla. To be honest, it doesn't feel particularly different to vanilla, does it? Which one was that? That was... Can't remember which one that one was. Should be one of the ones that's here. Which one is it? Couldn't tell much difference. No, I think there was difference, but I couldn't honestly tell you how much difference and where. Felt like it was a little cleaner sky. Did I install it correctly? 3D Rain? No. It's going to be one of the green ones. Did I even install it? What the hell did I just install? That's a bad sign. That is a sign I should go to bed. The sky was more blue. Yeah, although there was still a yellow tinge for it, wasn't there? Have you guys forgotten what I just installed as well? Did I just install something or not? I don't think I installed anything, guys. I don't think I installed anything, and that's why it looked vanilla. Western Sky. It was Western Sky. I didn't install anything, guys. We're all looking for changes and slowly realizing we're looking at something that looks very vanilla. But this, do you know what this does mean, though? The eye adaptation in the vanilla is actually better. Okay, let's see what you got. Darker Nights. Okay, that's, you know what, we'll try Darker Nights as well. You can sort by installation time. Yeah, you can, can't you? Yeah, sorry. That would have been the smart thing to do. This is going to be the last one we check out. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking for texture packs, but I'll do that in my own time. I think texture packs are just one of those ones I'm going to know more or less what I want just looking at them. Although, again, if you're watching the VOD and you're hearing me say this, feel free to give me suggestions, your own preferences. Oh, yeah, that's very different. Whoa. That is very, very... Whoa. Okay, let's do the whole... Play off and... That's even more yellow. Yeah, that was very, very yellow. That was like on fire sky yellow. I'll check to see if I've installed it correctly. Oh dear. Watching Gopher decide a weather is like watching Leonard choose an outfit for Inigo. It's important things, important things. Oh, it's the sky. It's the sun. The sun is yellow, but honestly, right now, looking at this, my first thought is I'm looking at something like Borderlands. Like, I'm expecting to look down and see, you know, the Borderlands style on the outlines of everything. So that, right off the bat, is a big no. That looks like the sun just went supernova. What the hell is that? And honestly, it's very yellow. Right now, I'm probably, if I was going to pick one, the sun feels a bit too close. Yeah, a little bit, doesn't it? Don't look at it. Yeah, you kind of like the look. I don't hate the look. But like I said, I'm getting an almost Borderlands feeling. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm playing a game with an art style. If that makes sense. You know, some games don't have... I don't think of Bethesda games as having an art style. They try to look as realistic as possible. You know what I mean? I know they've got clothing styles, building styles, whatever, but there's not like an art style. You know what I mean? They try to make human bodies and faces look proportionally correct. That's what I'm getting at. This sky looks like, you know, I'm going to look down and I'm going to see the Borderlands cast. I don't know why. Yeah. So, it's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one. I also feel that I probably need to play around with these weather mods and try them with different texture packs, but also some other things. Like, originally I was thinking New Vegas Reloaded. I am so annoyed by that. Are they planning on putting New Vegas Reloaded on a website at some point? Ugh. All right, so what else was I thinking for? Right, so I want textures, I want a lighting mod. Oh, right, interior lighting. Interior lighting. What was I using in Tale of Two Wastelands? Improved lighting shaders? Okay, an XNVSE plugin that almost completely fixes exterior lighting bug. Yeah, I probably want that one, don't I? That feels like a good one to have. I can't remember why I've got it installed. I'll have to check it a bit more carefully. That's been replaced recently. What has replaced that? Does it even say it? Vanilla plus terrain. Is that one I've got planned to look at? That might be one I've got on my list of things to check out. It is! That is one I've already... So that replaces it. So I don't need that. Vanilla plus terrain. Got it. Right. All right, Nutty Comic. Is there an interior lighting mod now that is everyone saying, woo, this is awesome? You know what I should do? I should look at Viva. They've got visual mods, don't they? Oh, they like Weather Revisited. They like Weather Revisited. Yeah, it's a very clean look, isn't it? A lot less bloom. I'll give that a look. Atmospheric lighting tweaks. Interior lighting for FNV. Probably this. I should probably look at some of these, shouldn't I? Gets rid of the worst cases of white blown out. Oh, right. Definitely some of these should be checked out. Got that. Simple character expansions. Overhauls the faces of NPCs. I'll probably check that out. Yeah. Dire Move, NVSE. Enables diagonal movements for the players. Why is that under visuals? Woodifer. Enhanced locomotion. New Vegas animation overhaul. This is not... Okay, we got a different definition of visuals. Got it. Right, okay. If you can see it, it's a visual mod. Right. But I'll definitely check out some of those. Atmospheric lighting tweaks is the main one these days. Right. Okay. Do I even have that one? Atmospheric lighting tweaks. TTW. That is the one I used for Tale of Two Wastelands. So I'm... Oh, and it's got one for FNV as well. So I just need that one. All right. So it's interesting, isn't it? That a lot of the mods I used for my Tale of Two Wastelands playthrough many years ago are still the ones being used. Okay, that's comforting. Green Tato. Anything that gets rid of the yellow urine filter is good with me. Oh. Does Nexus still have scammer ads on it? I was unaware that they had scanner ads, to be honest. I got the premium membership, so I don't see ads on it anyway. Thankfully. Is Project Nevada still a must-have? Oh, hell no. I mean, no offense to the Project Nevada team, but no. It's very, 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 very old at this point. Pretty much every aspect that was improved by Project Nevada is probably better off you using a mod specific to that. For example, the Just Assorted Mods one is a really good option, or at least it was when I was last playing. This has got a lot of things like dynamic crosshair, sprint, bullet time, loot menu, stuff like this. There are some new mods that I think are more up to date on some of these things. I don't know which ones. I need to check them out. But cybernetics, I think there's a mod that does cybernetics now. And of course, if you're just looking for something to add tons of feature, like weapons, armor, night vision, that sort of thing, there are plenty of standalone mods that do it, and they are much more up to date. So they're safer. And Project Nevada, yeah, it has... Yeah, but it's not on Nexus. What is not on Nexus, Nutty Comic? The Cybernetics mod is on ModPub. Oh, is it? Okay. Well, ModPub I can grab from. ModPub isn't a problem. If it's on a website, I can grab from a website. I just can't grab from... As far as I know, anyway, I don't believe I can put a Discord link. I mean, I could try it, but I don't really want to try it uploading a collection to bloody Nexus with a Discord link. I might talk to Picosaurus and ask him about that. Gunsmithing and ammo smithing are pretty cool, though. What's ModPub? Oh, ModPub. No, sorry, I thought you meant ModDB. ModPub? I don't know what ModPub is, but it's a website, right? If it is a website, it's fine. Websites can be handled. I'm trying to find one that has... Right, the vanilla UI one. For example, the Vanilla UI Plus mod, you have to get it from ModDB. That's not a problem. You can handle it on collections. All that will happen then is when you install this collection, if you don't have that mod already downloaded, is it will open up a little pop-up menu saying you will need to download this mod manually because it's not on Nexus. And basically it'll open up a browser, if I remember correctly. And I've sent it to the page where all you need to do is click the download button, and then it'll open a pop-up and you click the link, and then Vortex will take over. I don't think... Thanks. I find ModDB confusing. Honestly, but it's not a problem in a collection, because literally what actually happens is if you click on that link, what it will do is it will open up this page, I think, in the Vortex browser. And I've just got an instruction that says, click download now. And then click the link, it pops up. And you just do that, and then Vortex takes over once again. So that is a piece of cake. But for a Discord link, I will talk to Picosaurus. I don't think that's an option. I don't think you can have it open up the Discord. Well, you see, Discord, you can access Discord from a website. I don't think it's changed much in the 20 years you've been using that site. ModDB, it's not, has it? It really does look old school. When you look at it, you know what it reminds me of? A little bit? The old Nexus. Back when it was Test Nexus. And I hated it when they changed. When Nexus changed from its old wall of text website, I was gutted. Now looking back on it, I realize it was the right thing to do, but, you know, I cut my teeth on those. I didn't cut my teeth. I was practically an old man when already at that point, but yeah. Generally, Discord links are publicly available. Right. The only problem is with Discord links is, of course, they can just get deleted easily. And I mean, do you have to point them to a Discord page where someone clicks on the link, or do I just copy the Discord link? How will Vortex handle it if a Discord link is, if it's a Discord download link in it? There's so many what ifs there. Oh, generally Discord links are not publicly available. Right. Okay. So basically, the only way we might be able to do it is if we could open the Discord website, but you'd have to log into Discord as well. I don't know how difficult it would be, but I suspect it would just be a pain in the backside. So I think I'm just going to have to accept that New Vegas Reloaded is not an option. You didn't cut your teeth, you cut your palate. Thanks for reminding me. So yeah. So I think got to stick to one NBR version as well. It gets updated often. At the time I was into modding, at least, and it broke often. Right. Yeah. Now, well, I mean, like if it ever goes web hosting, maybe that's an option, but that's just not, which is a shame. So I will accept any suggestions on visual mods, but I'm going to get out of here because it is bloody late. And I've been streaming way longer than I planned. 2 hours. I was going to do a quick 1 hour stream. Should have known that was not going to happen, shouldn't I? If you're curious about the other collections, the Darnified, I've uploaded an updated version. If you're wondering about the vanilla one, I will probably upload it sometime soon-ish, I guess. I've got to make some art for it. But I'm still umming and ahhing over like that weapon mod menu. I think I will probably move that to a collection of just, weapons, armor, and animation or something. Just I might just call that the Stuff Collection. That's a terrible name. I won't. I might call it the Equipment Collection. And that will include, I don't know though, that's a bad name for animations. Should I have things like weapon animations and stuff like that in a separate, should I have an animations collection? The only thing is for a lot of the mods you use, things like WMIM, it's to fix problems on aiming and stuff, which is technically animations or model fixes and, I don't know. Stuff and things. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. I'm good. This is the problem with having themed collections. Sometimes you get a bunch of mods and it's very hard to figure out where they belong. Really difficult. But I'll figure it out. It might be one of those things where I do have things like weapon textures and stuff and put it in the visual mod, but then have something for, I don't know what you would call it, an equipment collection. And then an animation collection. It depends. The other thing's going to depend on is how many mods of each type I find as well. Bugs, QOL, gameplay, animations, and graphics. Right. Well, yes and no. I've got Stable New Vegas. That's kind of bugs, bug fixes, performance issues, etc. I got 2 UI collections. I'm going to have a QOL and gameplay one combined at the moment. I'll split them if I end up with a lot of mods. But quality of life and gameplay I'll probably do as one collection. I might split them. We'll see. Animations and graphics. You think I should add animations to the visuals? See, I'm not sure it belongs in visuals. Animations, I suppose if you're talking about third-person animations, but a lot of animations is to fix first-person problems. So, yeah. Does your stable FNV run on the GOG version? Yes, it does. The only real difference would be you will not need to run the patcher. If you're running it on the Steam version, you install it, and then you have to go along to your game folder and run the patcher. That's the only difference with the GOG version is you just don't have to do that. So it actually works even simpler on the GOG version. So yeah. Anyway, right, I'm going to be thinking about all this, but I'm going to think about it tomorrow after a good night's sleep. So, thank you very much for joining me, giving me suggestions, helping me out, and if you're listening to the VOD and you're putting more suggestions, thank you very much. I'm going to check a load of them out and see how I can make Fallout New Vegas look. So, thank you very much. I will see you guys on Sunday for Darkest Dungeon if you care to join me for that. Good night.